The year is 2030. Quant is still ranging between $100 to $120. Now, I know a lot of people feel like this right now. And the thing is that it's understandable to a certain extent because obviously Quant doesn't seem to be pumping as much as other coins and things like that. But if you know what you hold, it's massively important. And Quant's going to blow people's minds in this bull run. For that, I'm massively sure. I'm just going to move myself out of the way because that always helps. So, as I've said before, the Quant website, it's not sexy, it's not exciting. It really isn't. But then it doesn't necessarily have to be. This is focused more around the industries, banking, institutions, things like that. It's the foundation of the blockchain economy. Now, we've gone through the website before. Feel free to flick back through a few of the Quant videos that we've already made. But interoperability, this is going to be key. This is going to be absolutely key. And we'll touch on this a little bit later. But adaptability, programmability, ease of use, security, and resilience, massively important things. And you'll see why. So, Crypto Nerd at Legit Crypto Nerd has said the all-time high market cap of XRP will put Quant at 10,000 per Quant. That's without lockups that are in consideration. When XRP can do 140 billion market cap merely on promises back in 2017, 2018, so can Quant with real working product utility and adoption. Inshallah, that's how early you are. Now, maybe 10,000 on this bull cycle is maybe a bit of a push, but we'll look into it. We'll see what we think. Mind Crypto at Mind Crypto said that Quant, another large transaction from the I think it's from Coinbase to a private wallet of 1,207 Quant 10 hours ago, value of $145,000. Retail sell while they accumulate. The total wallet value is now $921,000. Only holds Quant. It's got no outflows, only inflows, and the wallet has been accumulating for the last 4 weeks. So they obviously know something. That's a whale, right? I mean, they know something, yeah. And I think that's important because retail get bored very easily. They see something like Bonk or Miro or something like that pumping, and people are selling Quant for that, which for me is crazy. Yeah, I mean, it works sometimes. Don't get me wrong, but it's not something that I'll be looking to do. Quant's a big cornerstone of my portfolio. Now, this is a clip that I want to show you. C_traders on x.com brought this to my attention via x.com. And if you listen to Quant's CEO Gilbert Verdian talk here, take it in, digest it. HTTP was created by the IETF. TCP IP was created by the IETF, both revolutionary to the internet. Now we have SATP, which will be the standard of all gateway connectivity, created by Quant and the IETF. So take a listen to this, and then we'll touch on Gilbert as well.
We all have inherited a very fragmented domestic payment system in each country. And the very nature of sovereignty has not allowed payment flows to be cross-border very easily from the outset as they were designed. So having that as a baseline, how do we integrate different domestic payment systems with each other so that you can have
seamless... Yeah, but just to be clear, is the SATP is like a technical standard, is it?
Yeah, so what we've done is we've worked with MIT and we've created within the IETF, so Internet Engineering Task Force, which is where the home of TCP, IP, HTTP, everything kind of sits within the IETF. So the SATP was approved, and that is a working group to create an RFC, a request for comment, which basically is a document for a protocol. And the whole thesis behind what needs solving is the gateway to gateway interconnectivity between networks. So if you treat a domestic payment system as a single network, you want to connect the UK network to the European network, to the US network, etc. The gateways are the ones that are going to do all the work between networks. And so SATP solves that problem by having the routing between gateways, the discoverability, and then the transactions between gateways. So having a globally accepted standard and a globally accepted protocol is a great way to integrate and interoperate different jurisdictions and different networks with a common language.
Okay, so you've heard that. It's exciting stuff. I mean, it's not broadly speaking, it's not a fan X. It's not something that's going to get people's motors running, but it is still quite important, and I think it's something you should all see. So we'll have a look at Gilbert Verdian now, and I've covered this before. He's the CEO. He's the main guy, one of the most connected guys in the entire crypto space. He's a security leader, creating new technology in companies. Ex-CISO, CIO, CTO from government and financial services with 20 years experience. Currently converging cybersecurity and blockchain. He's a technologist with an upbringing in business and a deep background in technology and security. If we have a look, he's currently obviously the CEO and founder of Quant. That's been going for almost, sort of 5.5 years. Quant is the future of finance today is the tagline there. But he also worked for a MasterCard company. He worked for obviously eHealth in New South Wales, cybersecurity. He was in the Ministry of Justice UK as a security lead. Worked for BP, HSBC Bank, the HM Treasury over in the UK. Again, security managers or senior manager of security consultant. Loads of stuff, loads of boxes that this guy ticks, right? But then if you look at his actual volunteering experience, now this is key because you don't volunteer for a laugh. There's obviously a reason behind this. So he worked on or volunteered on the Digital Pound Foundation, which is massive, the Federal Reserve System for Fed Payments Improvement Community, CMORG, Cyber, which is the Bank of England again, and again at the Federal Reserve with Secure Payments Task Force, founder of the blockchain ISO standard, again in interoperability. Just so much, so connected. And that can only mean good things for Quant. Now, this is interesting as well. So this is from @Keta132. Good morning, Quant. The amount of you that probably liquidated your long-term holdings because you couldn't handle a negative 27% price swing is not surprising. And this is the thing, it's not surprising anymore. And it concerns me about how some retail do things. Obviously, this isn't financial advice, but it's important to understand what Quant does. Over the last 2 weeks, I've heard nothing but this can't ever hold gains or stablecoin. Like, how many times have you heard that about Quant? We heard it to a certain extent back in the last bull run. Not so much, though, because obviously the price did start hammering up. Quant is one of the best, if not the best, risk to reward asset in the top 100. I say my one-liner quite often that rewriting the entire financial system is not a meme, because it's absolutely not. The US patent news is only the tip of the iceberg, which we'll touch on in just a second. For you newbies out there, they're also building retail and wholesale CBDCs with, at least it seems like, every damn government on the planet. On top of that, it's confirmed with work with them. We'll go through that in a second. But look, whether you agree with CBDCs or not, whether you think it's a good thing for society or not, that's entirely up to yourselves. And I know there is kind of like an ethical thing around that. And freedom is ultimately what we all want to be as a society. I understand that completely. What I'm suggesting is it doesn't mean we don't have to profit on the back of these things. And I mean that, by the way, that if we can get enough gains in this bull run to go and become free, then we might not have to transact in some of these environments after that, right? So, yeah, I don't personally agree with CBDCs the same way as I don't necessarily agree with AI taking over things. And, there's various ways which human beings can become enslaved. And I love human beings. I want them to do really well. I want them to thrive and have a good society. But we know that the powers that be are not caring about that. And what the powers that be want to do, they will do. So it's either we get in and make the most of it and try and get the most of our gains out and do well with these projects, than it is to sit there and go, well, no, it's ethically not sound, therefore I'm not going to do it. Which I'm all for ethics. As you know, I don't take sponsors, things like that. I'm all for ethics. But we need to make our money. That's what we need to do. Because if we don't, we're stuck. And then we're transacting in this environment with very little money, which is going to be worse. It's better to have some than none, right? So they're working obviously with the Bank of International Settlements, Amazon, Oracle, Nexi, UST, Volo, Zapier, UK Finance, the Digital Pound Foundation, Innovative Finance, ITSA, MasterCard, BNY Mellon, Bank of Canada, and Revolut. And he's still missing some. And here you are, capitulating and crying at a measly $1.4 billion market cap on a token that has a very finite supply of 14 million. Again, we'll touch on that. Rant over, please sell me your tokens. And if you look at this, right, so this is important too. So you've got XRP, and obviously all these things have their place. R3, XDC, Algorand. I don't like Algorand, but that's a personal thing. IOTA. Then you've got, DAG, Constellation DAG, HBAR, obviously I hold HBAR, IBM, Stellar, XLM, Ethereum's in there as well. And the thing that's going to happen is that all of these things will run on that Overledger. So the Overledger will be the overriding thing here, which is massive. It makes all of these things talk to each other with ease. And that's going to be the key thing. And Quantum Business is a working business. Same with FanX. work in business. Same with Trias, work in business. These are important things to take into consideration. Now, Greg Lunt, who's fantastic, by the way, go and give him a follow on x.com. He's put, wow, after 5 years after submitting their initial application, Quant has just had their patent officially granted by the US Patent Office, or patent. I never get that one right. Their unique method for providing enterprise-level interoperability between blockchains is now protected until 2040. So that means that someone can't come along and build another Quant. Yeah, they might be able to build something that gives you the same results, but you've got first mover advantage with Quant, and you've got the fact that it already has its patent protected until 2040. The run will be legendary, and there's the patent there. If anyone wants to come and check that out, feel free to do so. Moving on, it's at Quantfi. I want to make sure I get the name right. At Quantfi Navas, found this, which is a great find. This is Nexi. So the digital euro, the Eurozone's first public digital currency is coming. Let's have a look at what it consists of, how it will work, and Nexi's role together with Alessandro Agnoletti, Group Head of Digital Currency and DLT at Nexi. So if we look at what EBA Day 2023 is Europe ready for CBDCs, you'll see that Alessandro Agnoletti was there in that article, in that event, and it's obviously Quant were there too. So that consistently building these connections. It's insane how well connected Gilbert Verdian actually is. Then we've got at Mystery Car. Could someone please explain the benefits or downsides of exchanging holding literally none of the supply of Quant? Well, this is the thing. So exchanges don't hold much of the supply of Quant. You've got a bit on Binance, a bit on Qcoin, a bit on Crypto.com, Mexi, Bybit, and IDX, Coinbase, but then 92% is not there. Now, this is about supply shock, and again, we'll touch on the scarcity of Quant shortly, but supply shock will be real. I mean, people are going to have to spend a lot more money to buy one of them Quants off you. A Quant could be literally so valuable that people are struggling to buy just one, just one Quant. So you can imagine how valuable that Quant would then become if it's so scarce that no one can buy one, and you have to sell your Quant to someone. And at some point in the future, whether it's this bull run or the next, a portion of Quant, like a 0.1 Quant, will be worth something, and it'll have to be tradable. It's incredible how scarce it is. This as well, this is from @JTrades. On the 18th of January, our founder and CEO, Gilbert Verdian, will be addressing the Investment Association's members on the future of digital money and the potential it, combined with fund tokenizations, holds to deliver efficiency improvements, risk mitigation, and access to a new sources of liquidity for the UK's asset management sector. So the Investment Association is here. They represent UK investment managers. Our 250 plus members manage over 8.8 trillion on behalf of savers and investors. So even if a fraction of that came into the market and came into Quant, that's a lot of money. I mean, I'm not saying all 8.8 trillion will go into Quant. It probably won't. But even if a portion of it does, can you imagine what that would mean? So if we look at Quant right now, it's at $124.85. It's 1.9% down. It's just gone down a little bit more. But look at the scarcity. Look at the max supply, 14.6 million. I've told you how scarce that is. It's unbelievably scarce. And of that, 14.5 is already circulating. So, we're not likely to see major dumps. If you look at last time round, we can see what went on. So, I mean, imagine getting Quant down there, like, a couple of dollars. I mean, it flew. It went up to $427.42. We're 70% down from that all-time high at the minute. But it's got such potential. And then if we look at the coin perspective, now $4,000 for a per Quant doesn't sound that unrealistic. A 31x. Now I'm happy with $1,000 Quant. I'm happy with $1,200 Quant. I'm happy with pushing up to that $2,000 Quant. I'm happy with that. That's good for me. I'm happy to take that, layering out along the way. But maybe keep a small portion to potentially get to 4,000. I may do that. It will be a small portion, but a $58 billion market cap, 31x would put Quant on 4K per Quant. Now, if we look at previous all-time high market caps, you've got obviously XRP there, 127 billion. You've got Cardano, 94 billion. Solana, 78 billion. Dogecoin, 75 billion. So can Quant not catch Dogecoin? Polkadot, And bearing in mind, these are all-time highs, so it'd have to just beat Polkadot's previous all-time high. If Quant can beat Polkadot's previous all-time high, you're looking at 4K per Quant, which I don't think that's outlandish. But for the sake of what I think will probably happen, a 2K Quant is only a 15x from here, a 29.1 billion market cap. And when you think about the scarcity, you think about its use cases, you think how big it can be. That doesn't seem outlandish in any way, right? And then if you want to go to a 1K Quant, it's only a 689% rise right now, and it'd give it a $14.5 billion market cap. And again, I think, if we're looking around the 1200, that's only 847. And if you want to look at maybe 1500, you're looking at 11x. So it's not beyond the realms of possibility at all. 21.8 billion is not a lot. Considering this as well, is that the entire crypto market cap, we expect it to be between kind of 6 to 8 maybe trillion. Last time round, it got to 3 trillion. So you can imagine how much more money is going to be in the space. Yeah, there's more coins, so it might be diluted across a few more coins. But things like Quant don't come around very often in this regard. I'm really big into Trias. I'm really big into Fanex. I'm really big into Quant. But these are Quant's a massive, massive project, and it's very slept on in the crypto space. Now, if we look at around about that what market cap is it there? 2021. So if we look at that now, that would put it at around about Cardano's or ADA's market cap right now. And we're only at the very precipice of a bull run, maybe even slightly still arse end of the bear run, bear market. So it's important to think about these kind of things. And I think that Quant is a superb investment. Obviously, it's not financial advice, but the scarcity is huge. The scarcity is insane. The use cases, the guy who runs the thing, Gilbert Verdi, incredible, incredibly connected. Let me know what your thoughts are on Quant. Let me know what your thoughts are on its price. Where do you think it's going to go? How many X's? What market cap? What price do you think Quant can reach? I'm really, really interested to find out what other people's consensus is on this. If you like this video, please smash the like button. I always appreciate it when you guys do that. Subscriber-wise, we are literally a gnat's dick away from hitting 3,000 subscribers now. I think we're about 15 to go. And then we can make that push for 4, 5, and up to ultimately the target of 10,000 subscribers. So please subscribe if you can. Wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing, have an amazing day. Have an amazing evening. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Goodbye.